I'm back where I started the other day at the 40s dump, and really there's very few things that's interest me. So far this came out. It's Kicks shaving cream. It's a heavy embossed bottle. It's okay. I've never heard of it, so I'm assuming it was popular in those days, and I'll dig this bottle out. I saw a few broken milks, but primarily there's really nothing here in this time period that I'm too happy with. You know, these vinegar jars. Again, when you're talking about the 40s and the 50s, things got so standardized that there's a little glass with faceted. I like these, and there's nothing wrong with it. So that's another one. That's again the child of the 50s. I found this. This is a 30s jar. You see that fish scale design that was popular in that time period. There's some other stuff in here. And not that there isn't jars in here or bottles. I mean, there's a lot. It's just, is any of it worth trying to dig it out? Coffee. And at this point, I'm saying no, because I don't see anything too spectacular. Here's a little interesting perfume of some sort. And I'm not down to the bottom, but you know, it's all going to be the same. Why go down to the bottom and break your neck? Venetian blinds. I've seen a lot of surface stuff, so the stuff up on here is just as in the same time period as it is 10 feet below here. So I'm going to move on and see what I can find. I'm looking for your wine, standard wine bottle, bloody ketchup bottles. There's mason jars in here. There's all kinds of stuff, but you gotta find them. There's some really interesting sodas in this time period. This time point, they're far and in between, because the fact that you just got this crap. There's nothing in here so far that's caught my eye. Well, I'm not going to waste my time. We'll show you something when I find something good. Well, I'm down here in a 30s hole, and first off, I've got this one. It's a Cochrane Cantron Cochrane English bottle. They're all down in here. This is a loaded dump, by the way. It's almost, it's so loaded I can't seem to see. And there's a lot of these mini bottles without any real. Like here's another one. They don't have anything on them. So there's these little water bottles, and I've got a mess of them in here. I probably got a giant thing of concrete, but they're all in here. And as you can see, there's something else here. I think it's, you can see that. Oh man. pull this sucker out. We'll see what this is. Oh, it's a massive food bottle. See that? A big old honking food. Here we go. And there's more stuff in here. Another whole bottle. You can see, I mean, here's something else. See what this is. It's a little brown. No, nothing. There's a layer of ash, and then there's bottles. But it's that in-between stuff that you can't get through because it's the 30s were a little bit more industrial than the teens and the 20s. So when you're looking at stuff, here's another one of those. Here's a brown one that's broken, but I think it's a white rock. They were notorious for not having any kind of embossing on them. They were just, you know, your everyday plain. If I can get a milk out of here, it would be nice. They're in here. There's a big old dark green British. Well, let me keep going. I mean, there's a lot of potential in this section of the dump, so if I can get through all this, you know, people don't realize that this dump digging stuff is you know, leisurely. People do this for basically shits and giggles, you know what I mean? They won't want to. Damn. They don't want to go through all this. And this is a mineral water. So I'm gonna keep going, dig over by this old broken, and I'll get back to you. Okay, just to show you what we're looking at here. Look, whiskeys. But just to show you what we're looking at here, I'm digging up stuff. Look at that. That's a master ink right there. I'm heavily into stuff here, and this looks like it was an old. You can see I got bottles stacked. Get this one out of here. That's looks like a 3-piece mull whiskey. This here is a beer, and we'll see what it says on there. It's a Rupert. This is a Rupert beer, pre-prohibition. Okay. This here is, I guess, as good as mine, but I think what I've got here is, you see the metal ring here? This metal ring is probably a trash barrel. And I've got, underneath here, I've got all kinds of bottles. These brown ones are plain, and they were generally White Rock. White Rock was notorious for not having anything special on their bottles. But you get the picture. This is Glass City here, and a lot of wild stuff is coming out of here. Yeah, this is bad. Look at that. A Triloids. Well, it shows me there's stuff in here. What's this? Get this out of here. Vinegar. But there's more stuff in here. That's Johnny Walker. So I'm going to cut this back, keep going. I got a Rupert's anyway, so I'll let you know when I find more stuff. Okay, this just came out. It's an early machine made. And let's see what it says on here. It's a slug plate. And it says Manasquan, New Jersey. Manasquan bottling. So we got a Manasquan here. This is an old one from the 20s. Early 20s. That's a nice bottle. Early machine made. You see how that... I'm going to show all these in a cleanup. And when I do, I'll explain why some of these bottles look the way they do. The machine made bottles, the early ones anyway, they look like broken Irish whiskey. These early bottles look to be like, a lot of people will mistake them for blown in the mold, but they're not, because in the machine, the early machine bottles, see, look at this. I am packed to the gills with bottles. And I mean, there's so many of them here. I mean, I can't even describe to you. It's a plain ginger ale. They usually don't have anything on them. And I've got so much metal involved here that it's like impossible for me to dig something out without hitting heavy metal. This thing here, this frame thing, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna have to dig it out, but there's a crap load of bottles under here. This looks like just an old pot, but just to show you, I'm scraping on something right here. It's a jar. Sometimes these are but they don't have anything on them today. But they're but it's like there's a brick right there. When you don't want a brick, you got a brick. And right behind that brick, let's see, this brick actually has a name on it. I'm not into that, but yeah, I don't know what it says. I don't know. It's a name brand brick. But here we got a bottle here. Standard wine. I mean, there's, as you can see, there's bottles completely all over here. So many I can barely dig them out. It's ridiculous. This is a big one. I think it's a champagne. Let's see if I can get that out for you. I'm pretty sure it's a champagne bottle. But there's also another bottle underneath that one. Under there. Under here. Yeah, that's what I thought. A big honking champagne. In the 20s, they were big with that. You had a cup, a whole cup, just a white restaurant variety. They're common in this area because this is a hotel town. I think I mentioned that. Look at that. I don't know what that was. There's a pretty bad chemical bottle. Okay, well, that's enough for that. Let me clear out this hole and see what else comes up out of here. As you can see, there's a bunch of junk in here. Okay, there we go. Here's something interesting. This is an applied lip 10 pin. No marking on it. It's probably English. And they were imported by the hundreds here in the States. So I'm not too surprised about that one. Although this is a 20s dump, so considering I'm expecting mostly machine-made stuff, this the machine-made 10 pin, I mean the 10 pin sort of got me a little surprised. Here's another 10 pin. But this, when you see a little bottle on the bottom, when you see that mark on a 10 pin, that's a French bottle. Now they still make it, and it is a machine-made bottle. Another 10 pin. So 2 10 pins in a row. A little, I don't know what. A little. These usually are Listerine in this time period. I'll just keep going with this because the bottles are right here. Broken jar, chemical bottle with no real value to it. There's a big honker, and there's one right there. Let's see what these are. I'm not expecting much, but it's a water. Again, crown top, machine made. Nothing too important here. A jar, nothing too important. An old coffee cup, an old coffee pot, enamel. I don't keep them. People like them, but if I had to keep all those things, I'd have a whole barn full on my own. Let's see, go over here. You see, there's glass. There's all kinds of. There's another. Is that another Rupert? Probably. Rupert was popular. New York. Yeah, New York. A New York bottle. Very popular during the Prohibition time period. They put out near beer, and that kept them alive for a long time. A Cochrane, or whatever you want to call them. Here's another. There's another one of those White Rocks. Well, it was popular. New York beer, New York soda. Nothing too popular here. What's this say? See, water. I don't know. It's on the bottom here. Just the initials. Don't know what that is. If I was in Georgia, I'd probably keep it, but because everything's so far in between. See this dump here that I'm digging in now? It would be hardly a deal. This here is a beech nut. They sold water in the 20s and they're real popular. No marking. They had paper label. And it's another one. I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the beech nut. Yeah. A beech nut. No impression here. Let me keep going. I'm going to try to find something cool for you, and we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. Big old ball mason. Drop Dell, 1920s, 1919. Let's keep a little bit more in here and see what else in here. To make sure I don't hit anything of any significance. Little cordial glass. Picked up something here. Piece of window glass. It's way down here. It was way down here, so. And I'm hitting something here. Huh. That's a weight. A heavy weight. Why? I don't know. What's the weight for? Insulator broken. They usually are. Brass bell. Hitting this wall here. You can see there's stuff in here. There you go. What's this? Broken. You know, that smell of an undug dump is... There we got another cracked. That's a machine made. I'm doing a lot of live digs here, only because there's so much in here. It's like, why not, right? I go over in that direction. I don't know what's there. These roots are massive. But I kind of caught on to something there. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Milks. They are in here. This stump is not new to me. When I was a teenager, when I first started digging here, this was one dump that I came to, but at the time I was spoiled and only dug 19th century stuff, so machine made, modern, as I call this, wasn't really appealing to me. There's a milk. There we go. And that is a Tilton Dairy. And that, I think it's a, yeah, Point Pleasant. Common bottle, but people like milk bottles. So I give them to people. Little, if they're good, you know, people buy them. If they're plain Janes, you're not going to get anything for them. Clorox. Well, it has a Clorox top. It's not necessarily a Clorox bottle. It probably is. And there's a whole gang of people now who are into Clorox. I am not one of them. I mean, I just am not. Look at all the broken stuff here. It's amazing how much broken stuff there is. I just hook up on something and pull on it and see what happens. Here we go. This is a nice one. This here is a Probably a New York. Washington, D.C. What the hell? It's a machine-made bottle. It's a beer, definitely. Brewing. It says National Brewing. Washington, D.C. You saw it first, folks. And there's something else in here. Big champagne. Big baby. People used to party hardy back in the day. See, there's a blue million of these. Little midget, let's see what this thing is. Little midget sodas or mineral waters, but they're not that cool. There's a capsin. These turn purple, so I like them, and the jar. Well, I can keep going and going here, but let me come up. I don't want to waste my battery on this common stuff, so let me find something that will be impressive. That beer was pretty good. I mean, you know. Okay. Okay, look, folks. Next time, we will talk to you later. I'll show you the next stuff. I just picked up this little peewee. It's a swirl, green swirl. It's really nice. It's see through it. 1920 stuff. Yep. Okay, keep going. Okay, hooked up onto another. This looks like it's in good shape. What is it? It's a mason jar, I know that. That much I do know. Weak embossing, whatever it is. Okay, it's a Whitney mason jar. Little chip on the lip, but they're common here because they're made in New Jersey. So Whitney Mason, the two Masons. I'm doing pretty good here so far. So didn't know what was down there. I was hitting something pretty substantial. You know, when you find a certain type of bottle, in general, you'll see that they're in one place a lot. So you're looking, there's a bottle right there. Another one of those. Okay, let's keep on going. Found a Clorox before, but I don't film those things. They're just not. Another pony, and one more right here, and it's just a jar. They're all stuck in this area. There's another. These ones from New York. There's some from New York that have real. That's a tiny, and that's a British. Okay, let me keep going. I should. No markings on that one. Is there anything else in here I can show you right now? Nah, pretty much broken. You ever notice something strange? No medicine bottles. I was saying that to myself. This is Georgia, where I generally, or South Carolina, where I generally dig. They'd be full of medicine bottles, Codwells primarily. Here, not so many. Okay then, what is this, another Mason? Yeah, and this is a Ball Ideal. 19, should be a date on the bottom here. No, just an ideal mason, not much. Okay, keep on going. Got another milk here. Which one is this? I don't know. It's City Dairy. Another Point Pleasant City Dairy bottle. Okay. They're all... We're going further and further down. And as we do, we find more of these dairy bottles. Another Cochrane. It's so common here. Soda water. This was a health resort, by the way, back in the 20s. It's this town, so I'd expect to see that kind of stuff here. Oh, look at that. There's another little creamer. Has a slug plate on it. And we're looking at a Lakewood, Glendale Farms. Another common for this area. A little cream. See, I found that ideal. They're collectible. People like them. You find quite a number of them, actually. I was in an old barn the other day and found a whole bunch. Here's another Cottrell and Cochrane pony water. They're so common. I wouldn't. Now they're not common where I'm from or where I live. You don't see them that often. Actually, you don't see a lot of this stuff down there because you think you would, just because their water was so bad. Well, let me keep going. There's little milk you just saw. This is going to be my last bottle for the day. I got to get out of here. I have work to do. Like, I'm up here on business, so these little time I have free, I got a big Anheuser-Busch here. Great bottle. Big, strong logo. It was up in Newark, so they'd be common in here. One more live dig before I get out of here. One of the rare medicine bottles. That's a blown in the mold, as you can see, that one. So this is a little older, this stuff. Probably World War I and World War I, or just around that time. There's another of those Cochranes. They're not anything to write home about. This big sucker was in my way, and as you can see, it's a honking. Got one more out of here. What's this? Broken whiskey. The whiskey seemed to be broken up in here. And if it's 1920s, it makes sense because, you know, they were down on whiskeys. And there's just too much here. One more. What's this? My famous anything over here. It's real quick. There's another medicine. There's another little Welch's. They're all over here too. And there's one more here. And that's it, the Pony Cochrane. Well, I'll leave you with that. I'll be back probably sometime in the near future. Like I said, I'm here for another week or two on business. So when I find time, I will get here. Nice bottle. we are going to close on this one. Have anyone ever heard of Dr. Dedarian Zulak? Well, this is it. One of the very rare Dr. Dedarian Zulak. And this is a mold, blown in the mold bottle. It's out of New York. And a cool bottle. It's all around the top of the neck. So with that, we're closing with Dr. Dedarian. See you later, alligator. Bye.